Three of the most influential human beings in history of the world all agree on one thing. This is the most powerful, natural healing solution ever, one that has been used by all the cultures all over the world and one that has been virtually forgotten. What am I talking about? Fasting. If you look back through all of recorded human history, people have always fasted. Hippocrates, who is considered the father of modern medicine, famously said, our food should be our medicine should be our food, but to eat when you are sick is to feed your sickness. Basically, he's talking about the idea that we have a fasting instinct. So, what is fasting? You're going to starve people? That's the solution? No, that is not my solution. Fasting is not the same as starvation. Fasting is the controlled, voluntary abstinence of food for different reasons, such as for spiritual and even health reasons. Believe it or not, it is more important when to eat than what you eat, and this can be achieved by intermittent fasting. What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is the abstinence of food during a prescribed time period, so you exist in either fed or fasted state. Intermittent fasting has been practiced by all the religions and cultures for centuries. This is evident where in Buddhism, the monks very typically fast from noon until sunrise the next day on a daily basis. So every day, there's a very prolonged period of fasting. Muslims faith also very profound believers in fasting. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, fasting brings us to the door of his palace, and I'm sure everyone has heard about the holy month of Ramadan, where during that month, Muslims would fast from sunup until sundown every day for an entire month. All of these religions did not prescribe fasting to their believers because they want to harm them. In fact, that's something that is deeply, intrinsically beneficial, and that is, of course, not to lose weight. Now that we've understand the concept of intermittent fasting, why should we practice this on a regular basis if it's not to lose weight? There are three major benefits of intermittent fasting that affects an individual holistically. One of the benefits of intermittent fasting is it bolsters brain power. From the study of effects of energy restriction on the brain in the context of age-related neurodegenerative disorder done by Johns Hopkins University, it is found that we can slow down the degeneration of neurons in the Alzheimer's and Parkinson's mile by reducing energy intake. To do that, you can simply eat less at each meal, or we can reduce the frequency of meals or intermittent fasting. During the development of the brain, neurons are generated from the stem cells and from connection and communicate with each other. When we age, some people may cognitively stay intact, others may develop diseases. Intermittent fasting increases the production of proteins called neurotrophic factors, which promotes the growth and connection of this neuron. When we fast, we are challenging our brain, controlling it to refrain us from eating for a period of 16 hours or more. Challenges to the brain or cognitive challenges activates neurocircuits levels of neurotrophic factor levels. Intermittent fasting can increase the production of new nerve cells from stem cells. The next benefit is it fixes insulin resistance. For the first time in history, we are seeing cases of type 2 diabetes in children, teens at an alarming rate. One of the main culprits is the fact that there is sugar in literally everything we consume. People who are consuming sugary food are falling victim to becoming insulin resistant and develop type 2 diabetes. The body's main goal is to keep a blood sugar between 70 to 100 mg per deciliter, which is about 1 teaspoon. When we intermittent fast, our body becomes efficient at maintaining the blood sugar and our pancreas would not have to work so hard. On the other hand, intermittent fasting makes our life very convenient. We can save time, especially as medical students. We have very busy schedule. When we fast, we can just wake up in the morning and don't have to make breakfast or prep for our lunch, and also save money and time worrying and deciding about food until the time to break the fast. We don't have to worry so much on what we eat when we finally break our fast. Intermittent fasting allows us to be far looser on our diet. We are studying and learning new things constantly. We are also students, which means money plays a very important role on what we eat. We basically grab what is the simplest to prepare and also the cheapest to get, and that is most likely not the healthiest choice. By practicing intermittent fasting, we are making our life easier in the same time as saving money, where we think and spend less on food. I have just discussed intermittent fasting as a holistic approach for physical and mental well-being, as it bolsters brain power, fixes insulin resistance, and also it is convenient. I hope I open your mind and point of view on fasting. Intermittent fasting is free, flexible, and simple. Let's challenge ourselves and together see the difference that will change our lives for the better. Fasting brings us nothing else than benefits for the present and future well-being. We can start small by maybe fasting twice a month before fasting regularly. There is no one medicine that can treat all the diseases and problems in the world, but we can do something the least for ourselves to improve the quality of our life and makes us happier and good with ourselves, and that is by intermittent fasting. Let's us fast together.